This is Chris Prawdzik with Cageside Press. Today I have Chris Curtis, who takes on Dricus Du Plessis at UFC 273, April 9th in Jacksonville. Chris, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. It's really glad it's Friday. At least my
Yeah,
weekend's a little slower, so really glad it's Friday.
yeah, nice, good, good. So last year you had 6 fights. So now your first fight's going to be in April. It almost seems like you've been on a long vacation. Did you get a chance to do anything fun in the last few months?
Yeah, I'm actually I went to Turkey after my last fight. I went to Istanbul, spent 3 weeks out there, so that was really fun. So first vacation I ever had as an adult, as a professional fighter. Took a vacation, came back and got right back to it.
Wow, so Turkey, that must have been kind of cool. How long were you out there for? Like a week?
About 3 weeks. Yeah, it was
3 weeks.
fun. It was really different, but it was probably like one of the coolest places I've ever been, man. Like, Istanbul is such a cool city. So like all of Turkey was fun, but Istanbul was just really cool.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so speaking of last year, so you come into the UFC, you have two very tough opponents. I know you're a man that knows the odds and everything. You're underdogs in both of them. You finished both fights dominantly. You finish, Hawes in the first round, Allen in the second. So, and you did both of this on short notice. So, like, how does it feel like to be the underdog in those situations, short notice fights, and just dropping these tough challengers like that?
Uh, I love it, man. It always sucks when like everybody thinks that you're gonna get smashed and whatever. But I mean, people just forget, man. I've been doing this for 15 years as a professional, almost like 13 years. Well, 13 years now as a professional, fighting overall MMA for like 15, 16 years. Like people are always gonna go with the known quantity, and I guess an unknown quantity, but coming in, beating both of them like that way, I can show people like, hey guys, like, I'm not like a 6-0 kid coming in. Like I've been doing this for a long time. This has been my life for a long time, man. I got here late to the party, but I'm very, very, very seasoned.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, so, just talking about the fight in general, coming up in April, right? So my understanding, did the fight really go down as simple as I'm thinking it happened? You kind of said, "Hey, let's fight." You wanted to fight in Columbus because you grew up near Columbus. It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like that date was possible, but did it really just start like that? You were like, "Hey, let's fight," and then you
Yeah.
guys kind of made it happen.
Yeah, I want to get a fight in, and I was like, I don't know who to fight because I'm not really like I never paid attention to middleweight. So I was like, people always send me like fight thing get tagged in, and I got like 7 people like, hey, you and Dracus would be a great fight, and I was like, I have no idea who Dracus is because I don't follow fighting the way I used to. Apparently we've met before, but I've got the worst short term memory ever. So I was like, you know what, screw it. So everybody like hidden messages like, hey, you should fight Dracus. And I was like, fuck it, all right, I'll fight Dracus. So we Googled him, he had some cool knockouts. I was like, oh shit, well, I want to have cool fights. It seems like he wants to have cool fights. I'm like, well, we can go and fight the Nick Maximovs of the world, where it's just like going to be no one's going to enjoy the fight, or we can have two guys who are showing up and who want to fight each other and who are there to put on a show for the fans. So I was like, I was like, I tweeted him like, hey man, do you want to fight? And he was like, yeah, shit, let's go. So it was as simple as that. We both said yes, and then I think Maynard's like, all right, man, done. So
Yeah.
I wanted Columbus, but he said, he had stuff going on. He's like, well, can we do after that? And I was like, yeah, I wanted Columbus, but I'm not married to it.
Yeah.
And now here we are. So yeah, gentleman's agreement. Like, hey, we're gonna show up and hit each other. And he was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was no bad blood, no nothing, just two tough guys that wanted to swing, and you guys both said, "Yeah, let's go, let's go." Boom, and it was made like quick. It was like a week or two, I think, from when I read
Dude,
that.
I think the sport's been oversaturated with fake drama and beef. Like, I'm a grown man. I'm 34. Like, I'm not gonna beef over nothing. And then Drake is good. He's the dude's a professional. He's been around. He's fought good people. Like, we don't need we don't need hate. We're professionals. We don't need to hate to fight each other. We're just like, hey, I like to fight. You like to fight. You want to go fight? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm not doing anything. Problem solved. Like, simple as that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I was watching that very closely because I'm a little partial. I'm going to the Columbus Cards. I was like, darn, it didn't happen there. But hey, what are you gonna do?
I wanted it, but I think that really came down to he said he had. When I asked originally, he said like that timing wasn't great for him, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, I get it. Like it'd be nice to fight at home. There'll be other chances. So
Yeah.
we got it April 9th.
I mean, the good thing is, I mean, both cards were in front of crowds, though. I mean, it seems
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
majority of fighters love fighting in crowds versus, in the Apex with no crowd there. We're very limited crowds. It seems
Makes
like the
no difference to me.
really okay.
None whatsoever. I'm just gonna fight's a fight. At this point in my career, I've made that walk so many times, and like it makes no difference to me. The first half of my career, or even in some of my later career, was fighting in front of like auditoriums with a few people, like maybe 100 people in it. So I'm not doesn't bother me at all.
Cool. Good deal. Good deal. So, so speaking of this camp in general, are you doing anything different? Any kind of new training partners? Anything preparing for this fight, or the same thing you kind of been doing the last few camps?
I trained every camp exactly the same, man. Like I've reached a point in my career to where I know who I am as a fighter. There's always things I can work on. There's stuff we're always trying to improve on and fix and get better at. But I don't really go too far out of what's gotten me here. Like, I have my same coaches. We added a new coach to work on something specific, but I have my same coaches. I have my same conditioning programs, the same one I'm doing before I got signed, because I know what works for me. Like I've done this song and dance many, many times. I have a great understanding of like what works, what doesn't. And as long as we stick to that and we just gradually try to make improvements every day, like why go do something new, crazy? So saying, if I go and change everything for him, to do something for him, I'm starting to fight on the back foot. Like, right? Like I'm not fighting the way I want to fight. I'm trying to plan around somebody else. So I stopped planning around people. And now, I just do me. I know what I want to do. So I just go out there and work on doing that, and just really decide to stop planning for people. That's like the worst thing you can do. So I just want to go be me. Like there's no reason to change what isn't that broken.
Yeah. I mean, does part of you almost like short notice fights more than a full camp, or is it always a full camp's better?
This is miserable. Like God, I've had 10 weeks for this. This has been fucking miserable. Like, oh my God. It's absolutely miserable. Like I'm somebody who's trained 7 days a week already. And that's why short notice fights aren't really short notice for me, really. Like I'm always training hard. Like my training schedule is more than most people's. My training schedule out of camp is more than most people's in camp. So for me, it kind of sucks because at 10 weeks, whatever, 11 weeks, whatever we had, I'm so far out that like when I get in camp, I tend to like pick it up a little bit. So we kind of had to slow me down. We had to burn like 4 weeks of like, we'll work on certain stuff, do whatever, but we're not going to like, take the leash off until we get a little bit closer. So at like outside of 5 weeks, we started kind of like picking it up now. But I mean, I'm always in shape. I don't take time off. So now I'm just sitting around like, oh my God, this is so long. Like I got up today, like, yeah, 5 weeks. I was like, oh, 5 weeks. Fuck.
Yeah. Fun. So, speaking of that, right? 2020 goals. You fought 6 times last year. What's your 2020 goals? How many times do you want to fight this year, or specific goals you want to get to professionally?
Man, I wanted to get 10 times last year, so we got 6. So with the way UFC booking is, I really want to hit 5 times this year. I think we kind of got April. I wanted to get March where I could start earlier. But with April, I figure with a little bit of luck, I can still roll 5 times in this year. So I really want to roll 5 times in this year. Like that's my goal. I want to get 5 fights in this year.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, because April, that'd be almost every other month the rest of the year, maybe a little quicker than that. That'd be
So I mean, like if I go through fights with no damage, I'm a guy who I'll fight and then be back in the gym on Monday. So like if I can get through a fight with no damage and get a quick turnaround, like perfect. So I'll gladly do 5. Try to bang out 5 times this year. Like 4 more than likely looks realistic, but 5 if I'm lucky.
Cool. Awesome. So give me your prediction against Dricus. What happens April 9th? What's your prediction on the fight?
Oh man, like I guess both of us really like hitting people really hard, and I assume somebody gets stopped, man. Like I don't know. So I'm rooting for Dricus to get stopped. Like I like the guy, but I'm still rooting for Dricus to go down. But I don't see this really going the distance. Guys got all finishes. I've been finishing a lot of people, kind of like honing my style down. On top of I'm a really hard guy to finish. So I think I don't think I think very few people in the world are going to be able to submit me in a fight. So I think one of us goes to sleep.
Awesome. Think you guys are getting bonus checks? Somebody's getting a bonus check that fight. That's the goal, right?
So everybody's like, "Oh, why won't you call out Dricus?" I'm like, guys, you guys thinking this differently. Like, I am not thinking lowly of Dricus. I think the guy's fucking great. I think this is a fight that, like, either one of us gets the knockout of the night or we both walk away with fight of the nights, or maybe some combination of that. But like, I asked for Dricus because I'm 34, man. Like, I don't have a ton of time left in the sport. I'm trying to have fun fights that get attention and get paid. And in order to do that, like, yeah, you can go knock a guy out and, like, if the guy sucks, but it's way better time if you've got a good dance partner. And like, the dude comes to fight, he can scrap, he's tough, what better dance partner could I ask for?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, just in my opinion, I don't think you're going to put on a boring fight with whoever you're matched against. I mean, you're just fun in your style. So
there have been some times where it takes, it's hard where some guys don't want to fight, but like Dricus is a guy who comes to fight, man. It's sad I have to fight him because I like the guy. I think after I watched him some of his fights, I'm a fan. Like, I enjoy his style. I enjoy like his willingness to scrap. So like, shit, man. Why not get paid? You got to have a good partner. So I picked the best dance partner I could find, and that was Dricus Du Plessis.
Yeah, no, smart, and I think it's it's going to be a super fun fight. I'm really excited for it. Chris, I really appreciate all of your time. If there's anyone on your team, sponsors you want to give a shout out to, the floor is all yours, Chris.
I don't know. I don't know what to do about sponsors. I don't know. Sponsors are weird. I don't know. I think I really have anything I have to shout out. But yeah, man, you know what? My manager, Lance Spouty, Jason House from Iridium, they've done above and beyond to keep me sane and get me where I wanted to be. So it's been a really trying times, and they got me here. Even when I thought I was doubting it myself. So I actually live in Lance's house. Like, he's running around here somewhere.
Okay.
So yeah, like greatest manager ever.
Right.
So hats off to them for getting me here. And then hey, see, there's Lance now. Hi, Lance. And then
awesome.
All my coaches and teammates at Extreme Couture, man. Like, I've had a lot of changes lately, and I think I found a gym that really works for me. I found coaches who really understand me and work for me. I have a great team of coaches working together. Everyone's on the same page, and when you got a room full of people pulling for you, pushing you, and communicating, and like streamlining everything, the results speak for themselves. So thanks to my coaches, thanks to my management, and on to the next one.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris.
Oh, I'm being stuff thrown at me. Also, I'd like to thank Cupcake, the world's greatest dog, and the singularity's coming, guys. Like, you'll see soon, but the singularity's coming. Praise Cupcake.
Thank you.